This is our 7th night camping, and I've been using Alu-Cab's 3rd generation rooftop tent. I'm in North America. I'm on a hilltop in Northern California. It's just a little bit chilly, and we're now going to set up our camp. Now, rooftop tents. Why would you want one? A lot of people put them on the roof of their vehicle because it feels a bit caravanish. In other words, they're carrying their home on their back. A bit like a tortoise, really, when you think about the wind resistance of a traditional rooftop tent. This one, of course, much lower and sleeker than your average one. So in terms of its effect on fuel economy, it's got to be a little bit better than average, but still it's going to affect it a bit. Another reason for putting a rooftop tent on a vehicle is that you can keep all your bedding in it. Most of them, not all of them, have enough space, generous space, so you can leave your bedding in it. How much saving that is inside a vehicle, particularly a small one like this, is significant. It's a deal maker when considering a rooftop tent. Ideally, you'll need a roof rack or load bars to mount this tent onto the roof of your vehicle. But I have a question. Why not turn the tent into a roof rack? So if I want to fit max tracks or high lift jack or spade or awning, why can't this be my roof rack? Why do I need a roof rack and this? Now, this is important because a roof tent this size takes up all of the rack. All of it. You can't use the rack for anything. So my question is, why have a rack? Why not enable this to load directly onto the roof, just as the roof rack does? That isn't part of the design. But make no mistake, that's not a deal breaker. I think that's just a design shortcoming. A serious shortcoming? I don't know, but it's there all the time. The test now is how quickly can I get my camp set up? Because one of the perceived advantages of a rooftop tent is I don't have to grovel around on the ground, and I can go bup, 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 and up it'll go. Some rooftop tents are very good at that, and others are very bad at that. This one is, well, let's see, shall we? So with the timer going, let's see how long it takes me to put up the tent. It's a really good idea to have a place to stand. So if your back bumper doesn't have a good place to stand to do this, well, you might want to think about how to add that to your vehicle. Stop the clock. Access is via a ladder. So really, let's start the clock again from that point and take out the ladder. Now the ladder comes with a cover so that if it gets a bit dirty, which it can do, it won't spoil your bedding inside. So, let's take that, pack that away, and let's see how quickly I can do this. Oh, this is really complicated. Stop the clock again. I use the ladder to access the tent. There is a lip here. The reason for that is to keep water out in heavy rain showers when driving. So that's how easy it is to climb into the tent. Now, there are 3 access doors. You can put the ladder either side or on the back. Completely your choice. Now, the mosquito netting, sorry, I want to keep the light on me while I'm filming. Mosquito netting is of good quality and the zips are big. And what you'd basically do is just dip yourself in, and then you've got that, and then you've got It gets very dark in here actually at night if you zip them all closed. They're made out of nice, everything is a nice quality. Nothing is cheap, which is always nice to see. I have 6 pockets sewn into the roof, ideal for brushes and nighttime stuff, maybe a book or two. Ideal, really. There is an electrical system up here consisting of 2 lights and a USB connector and a cigarette lighter for accessories. The light down here is not a great location for it. I think it would have been much more useful actually having just one up above than 2 here. It's such a small space that if there is a light on, it is going to disturb your partner, no matter where it is, up or down. So I think I would have put the lights up there, but the location of the other electrical connections is actually ideal where it is. Material is a rip-stop canvas, and it feels as if it's been impregnated with wax. I'm not sure if it has, but it is not waterproof, but water resistant, and certainly rain proof. In terms of wind, this is a very good product, because what you do is you face the vehicle into the wind, and the amount of buffeting is really minimal. It's a very heavy material. Right, I think we should start the counter again, having just tidied up inside. It's actually not really very tidy. I've just flattened things out a bit. Let's see how long it takes to take this tent down. Because the time it takes to pack up, for me, is the single biggest disadvantage of rooftop tents. To me, it is a deal breaker. I don't like them because of it. Most, you actually have to get up onto the roof rack to tie them up properly. And you need 2 people to make it anything but a major ordeal. Let's try this one. Start. Now, here comes the most awkward part of putting this tent away. And that is putting the ladder, back in the bag. But with 2 people, it's extremely easy. Now, I should point out that my only criticism of this entire product is the ladder. And that is, the edges haven't been filed down, so you can scrape or even cut your finger on the edges. So when you take delivery of yours, take a hand file and sort it out. Oh, I'm using up a lot of time about the ladder. So this is how to sort the ladder. Now, it's better to have the back and side open than packing it away. You put the ladder in. You tuck that up. I don't need to climb on anything. I just stand up here and I put my tent away. Oh, I even forgot to do the amazing time-saving strap that they have included, which actually is really necessary. I suppose it saves a few seconds. Stop the clock. Now, I could put at least another sleeping bag, 2 extra blankets, definitely an extra pillow with those, and it'll still close this easily. Now, I've used a lot of rooftop tents in my time. Some of my favorite are Easy-On. As a rooftop tent, they were one of the pioneers. What a great product. But the style has got more room inside than this, but not much. So the traditional rooftop tent, the advantage over this is a very small one, and that is you've got a little bit more room. The advantages of the Alu-Cab Gen-3 is that it is unbelievably quick to erect and to pack away. And that means that when you're touring, you don't always have in the back of your mind, oh, you know, we really need to get to the campsite in time to set up our camp. You know, we're going to need... With this, you need 5 minutes to do everything. And how many seconds was the tent? I don't know, I wasn't sitting here with a watch. 30 seconds? 40 seconds to rig up? Less than 1 minute to put away? Together with that, and the comfort, it's definitely as comfortable as any rooftop tent that I've ever slept in. I think it's probably one of the best rooftop tents available in the world today. Let's think about what's wrong with the design. Well, good morning to you. This broadcast comes to you live from the Overland Expo West, Flagstaff, Arizona, as I present my conclusions of the Alu-Cab GEN-3 tent. I've been travelling now with it, and this would be my approximately, I think probably my 8th or 9th night sleeping in the tent. Travelling with my good friend Jeremy James, who is in his GEN-3 at the moment. And now I can come to some conclusions. Having not only spent time, man, this is a noisy campsite at this event. Actually, it's not the campsite, we're right in the middle of the showgrounds. Having chatted to a lot of people about rooftop tents over the last few days and seen some of Alu-Cab's competitors, including the new Easy On Stealth rooftop tent, which is new onto the market. Had a look at that. Obviously didn't, take it out on a trip or anything. Certainly looks interesting. I'm able to come to some conclusions. One of the criticisms of the Alu-Cab tent is the way the zips work. They roll up from the bottom to the top, which means that every time you get into the tent, you have to climb over them. Now, this is, well, it can be looked at both ways, really, because if it was tied from the top and you rolled it up, you would have nothing to climb over. But for any privacy at all, you'd have to zip it up all of the way. In this case, I can zip it up half the way and have privacy and light. And for sleeping, this is nicer than having it zip from the bottom. So maybe they could do both. I'm not sure, but that's a personal preference. I don't see that as a criticism. But one thing I have been hearing, and I don't agree with it because maybe, well, but it's definitely worth considering. I think that they could have done more with the mattress than they did. Not that it's bad. It's just not going to suit everybody. And they could spend a bit more time and money developing a better mattress, considering this is a very high-end product. What do you think of it?
I'm very happy with it. I didn't know what to expect, but it has ticked all the boxes for me. I really enjoyed it, and it made this whole experience, our trip this year was made easier because of that particular piece of kit. I loved it.
Because of the ease of putting it up and taking it down?
Yeah, and just not having to, we've got tight schedules to keep, and it was nice to be able to get to where we were going and know that we could be done setting up camp in minutes.
Right.
Yeah, and it was comfortable.
Comfortable getting in and out?
Getting in and out was really good. I wanted to know how that would be for a big guy like me to get in and out. Absolutely not an issue. I use a different ladder to try out that was provided by Adventure Ready to just as a kind of a test, so it's a separate kind of piece of kit. I really liked it. The original ladder for me was a bit small. It was very sturdy, it was strong, I used it, but I liked the bigger ladder better. But getting in and out of the tent was easy, and it's got plenty of room. I mean, it's been our home away from home now for about a month. So.
And comfort?
Comfort, I think, is probably an 8 out of 10 for me. I liked it because it's very warm, it's very dark. However, the mattress for me was hard. It's a foam mattress. I think when it gets cold especially, it gets very firm. So I added another pad inside, which still allows me to close the tent. It is a little tighter to close, but that pad inside for me made all the difference in the world, and it's extremely comfortable.
But my advice to Alu-Cab would be pay more attention to the mattress and sort out the ladder. The ladder is not really very good. Manufacturing quality could also be improved. Bit pricey, but you know, with rooftop tents, if ever there was something, a product in the overlanding and camping industry where you get what you pay for and suffer dearly when you buy cheap, it's rooftop tents. And this is one of the best ones. Would I buy one? Yes, would. Definitely would buy one. It's a great little product.